Martin Place 1 hour ago. Hostages running and screaming from the Lint Cafe into the safe arms of police. They were 2 workers at the cafe, taken over by a gunman, still holding maybe another dozen staff and customers. 6 hours after being held at gunpoint, three hostages pull off a remarkable escape from the Martin Place Cafe and run down Phillip Street and into the arms of tactical police bristling with weapons. This was less than 2 hours ago. Their relief was clear.
We are with those people now. The first thing that we are doing is making sure that they are okay. We will then establish who they are and then we will continue to work with them.
The first terrifying images showing something was dreadfully wrong in Martin Place. They walked in as customers of the Lint Cafe. Within moments, they were hostages, ordered by a gunman to place their hands on the front window.
I came down in the lift, and when I got into the foyer, the right-hand side's where the cafe is, and there were people sort of standing in the doorway. I then looked and saw a policeman on at the edge of the foyer, and he sort of yelled at me to get out. I walked towards him and he grabbed me and ushered me pretty quickly around the corner.
Then an ominous clue to the motivation driving the gunman inside. 2 hostages with an Islamic flag above their heads, and on the window the words, "Merry Christmas." In minutes, scores of police were swarming around the cafe. Heavy weapons and body armour. Through the thick plate glass doors, a murky shot of the gunman, using a hostage as a human shield. He appears in his late 40s or early 50s and is wearing a black and white bandana. As one of the cafe workers reported for work, through locked doors, he saw the gunman inside.
There was one guy walking around with a hat and a beard, and he was just walking around just there, and I think I saw my manager there. And then I was talking to another guy. He told me it was armed robbery, and then that's when the police showed up, and then they cordoned off the whole area, and then that's when everyone inside put their arms against the window, like hands up, and then they put an ISIS sign up on the window.
It soon became very clear this wasn't an armed robbery. One hostage was videoed drawing her hand across her throat.
It's pretty bad. And I would rather be in there with them than be out here not knowing, you know.
It all began to unfold in the heart of the city, Martin Place in the CBD. At 9:30, a man is reported to have been seen entering the Lint Cafe with a bag. Calls were made to police a short time later, around 9:45 a.m. The response was swift, and by 10 a.m, the whole area had been placed into lockdown. Mid-afternoon, the police commissioner made the grim assessment.
We've moved to a footing that would be consistent with a terrorism event.
4 hours into the siege, this was Martin Place, the upper end, completely deserted with only a few police cars cutting off the streets and manning roadblocks. But down here at Castlereagh Street, several hundred people watching the police operation, and everybody here probably sharing the same thought. How could this happen in the centre of Sydney? Up to 10 staff, maybe a dozen or so customers, held at gunpoint by one man. Blocks around the cafe were evacuated.
Keep moving.
At one stage, floors near the cafe were cleared. Office workers climbing down a ladder. The hours dragged with no breakthrough, and it seemed like the city was emptying.
We are being tested today in Sydney. The police are being tested, the public is being tested, but whatever the test, we will face it head on.